Greetings, I'm Etta Rosa with Etta Rosa LLC. We are a paralegal firm and we also provide legal consulting for law firms. So congratulations, you made it through our entire legal series. Yay! In the legal series, I discussed various roles within a law firm. So I kind of want to specify the actual roles that go in a law firm. And I will be doing that by providing you a example of what I call a full-fledged law firm. So anywhere from the CEOs to the receptionist to a front desk to a clerk, whatever it is. So we're going to go through them one by one. So be patient because there is a lot of them, but I will make it quick, hopefully. All right, so let's go. All right, so the first one is obviously your receptionist or your front desk. Now, the receptionist or a front desk can be a service, can be a live person, or it can actually be your website or whatever your communication is, Facebook, social media, anything like that. That's kind of what I call the forefront of your company. So anyone that will initiate the contact of your firm is what I would call a receptionist, front desk, virtual assistant. However you want to fill in that gap, that's actually that type of role. I always suggest that, especially with busy law firms, when you start in the beginning, you don't think you need somebody to handle your calls, but you kind of do, because you got other things to do, so you might as well just hire somebody or hire a service or hire a software that will utilize that information for you. Kind of like Google Voice or Grasshopper, Nextiva. There's plenty of apps and softwares out there that can provide you with that service at a lower cost. So moving on, if you have an answering service or receptionist, you want to move on to maybe what I call like an executive assistant, which is basically handles your administrative aspects. Nothing to do with your actual litigation or handling of the case itself. It's more of the ins and outs, a kind of thing. So, speaking to your bookkeeper, speaking to the office manager, kind of being your communication tool when you're not physically there. This person would be the go-to person for the other departments to go to in order to provide that constant communication that you kind of crave for after a while. So after you do that, you definitely want a legal assistant. The legal assistant, what I call, is usually the assistant to the paralegal. It depends on what type of paralegal you have, but if you have what I call an expert paralegal, a go-to paralegal where you don't even need a law clerk because she's able to provide you with legal research skills and strategizing skills and things like that, then you can eliminate the law clerk on this one. However, the legal assistant can help her with the scheduling, or him with the scheduling or anything like that regarding the actual litigating or handling of the case in general. So legal assistants usually tend to do the scheduling, the in-person communications with the client or with the prospect, and then the paralegal will come in along with the legal assistant or anything like that. But at the end of the day, your paralegal, depending on your caseload, is going to need some help, and a legal assistant is one of the best positions that I feel is great, especially when the legal assistant is striving to be a paralegal. It's kind of like a go-to method, and it creates that environment that we spoke about during the actual legal series, Back to the Basics. So moving from that, obviously you have your paralegal, right? So your paralegal, depending on what type of skills and what type of practice you have, will have either the legal research capacity, the drafting of the pleadings, the legal strategizing, the constant communication with the client regarding what I call top events. So either a client meeting that you want to have with them in person or over the phone or whatever the case may be, strategizing as far as providing experts for your case, anything like that. That's kind of what the paralegal is there for. Then you move on to the other intricacies of the firm. So let's stick to the primaries. So your law clerk. So if your paralegal is unable to provide you with legal research, whether lack of skill or just lack of time, then you would have a law clerk, which is usually, I don't know, it depends on the firm, but they're usually in law school and they're striving to be that attorney one day as well. So then you have your law clerk. Then you would have an associate, which is, straight out of law school mostly, or within their first, I would say 5 years of their career is where you would have an associate come in and help you with what I call overhead. as far as the simple pleadings that can easily be handled and reviewed from the paralegal to this associate and things like that. So then you move forward, obviously, after you have all that, you have yourself, which is the attorney, the lawyer, the counsel, however you want to say it, is basically the one that runs the show as far as the cases and basically anything else. Then you have your administrative information, right? So you have your office managers, assistant managers, human resource, bookkeeping. These are the people that actually run the actual business. The first half were the people that actually run your cases, right? So there's two different aspects of law firms, just like anything else in business. You always have those two different, well, various aspects of business, but I'm just dumbing them down into two. So your office manager would obviously handle the information regarding bookkeeping, human resourcing, things like that. It would be kind of your go-to person when it comes to your employees wanting, having issues with either their personal life or benefits or whatever the case may be. You have your office manager, maybe that office manager needs assistance themselves. So you would hire an assistant manager to help the office manager. Or in the case that the office manager is not there due to vacation or sick leave or PTO, whatever the case may be, then you have the assistant manager there. And you always have somebody in that position because you always want to create, again, that healthy environment with the staff and let the staff know that there's always going to be someone there to help them with whatever they need. Okay. So then you have your sub roles, which is basically back in the day when we used to actually have to go to the courthouse to file cases. Right now with the whole electronic portals and the filing, some states still have the original court filing where you actually have to go to the court and things like that, or how about emergency hearings, but there's always those one-offs where you need to have your boxes for trial and things like that being transferred to the court and ready to go for the trial. So those are what I call court runners, people that will help you with those kind of little things, picking up copies for your exhibits for the trial, things like that. You never want to take a legal assistant, or maybe an executive assistant can also, fill in that gap for you, depending on your budget and how often you need these services. But court run is always good to have, on hand whenever you need them to just do those things for you. And then you always have your marketing department and your CP, your bookkeeping, and all the other ones that I said. And then, of course, eventually, if you are full blown, you'll have your CEOs, your COOs, your CFOs, which would make your actual financial and business strategy decisions. So I hope this kind of helped and it kind of connected the dots for you. But if you want anything else, I'm actually going to put a link down below where it'll break down most of these for you to kind of give you an idea of what these roles can do for your firm at this point. But of course, I'm always here for you as a resource. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can go on my website for more contact information as well, edarosallc.com, EDAROSALLC.com. Have a good one. Bye.